Hello everybody, it's I, Maxwell Morris, for the late night Max Morris Talk Show, where we turn the info up to the max. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Max Morris. We got a packed show here for you tonight. We have 3 special guests, SAT, BOE, and ACT, and we're going to talk about the effects standardized testing have on our current society. Also, keep your eyes glued to your television because we have a very special guest here tonight along with those 3. A very talented band by the name of the Plain White Tees will be playing for you tonight. Now you, yes you, in Miss Catlin's class, all of you reach under your desk, feel for that nice piece of paper money under your desk because there is $1 underneath one of your desks. All right, now please help me welcome our next guest, Serendipity Anesthetic Triceratops. Please help me in welcoming our first guest, Serendipity Anesthetic Triceratops.
Please call me SAT.
All right, I just have a couple questions here for you, if you don't mind, about standardized testing. So what exactly is it, you know?
Standardized testing is a test that majority high school students take if they want a particular job, and colleges also use them for scholarships and admissions.
Okay.
After all the stress they get from taking this test, they wonder what scores they get, and they receive no feedback.
What do you mean by no feedback?
Often kids aren't given reasons for their scores, and when they mess up or want to retake their test, they don't know what they get wrong and how they can improve.
Okay, is there any sort of discrimination, do you think?
There's no diversity in the standardized test. People who have different cultural backgrounds, learning styles, disabilities in learning, or past experiences and levels in proficiency for the English language, there's no room for them to really achieve much.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me tonight, SAT. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, please help me in welcoming our next guest, Buffet Orwell Extracurricular. All right, thank you for joining me, Buffet.
We're not that close.
Oh, okay.
It's BOE.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, well, Miss BOE, why do you support standardized testing?
Well, Max, it's difficult to measure intelligence just in general from student to student, especially when everyone has naturally subjective method of measuring said intelligence. Standardized tests kind of give a way to objectively grade students on the same, so they're on the same footing, and it's using all the same material. If you could, sit up straight.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a little rude. It's like a unified measurement, and because everyone is being tested on the same things, you can kind of gauge where some students may need extra help or something like that, just to be on the same level as their other peers.
Okay, well, Miss BOE, I didn't actually hear you mention teachers at all, so how do they tie into it?
Well, I was gonna get to that, before you interrupted me very rudely.
Sorry.
Yeah, kids these days. But anyway, standardized testing isn't only a measure for students, it can also be a measure for teachers. If many students in a certain group or a certain class score poorly in a standardized test, it tells us as a board that that teacher generally isn't really doing their job right. They're not instructing students as they should, or doing the right material or methods or anything like that. So when that happens, we're able to give the students a little bit more wiggle room with everything, and we're able to get that teacher more training, or replace the teacher if need be, just to help other students in the future.
Okay, well, how do these scores affect students in the future? How about that?
Well, if you thought critically, you'd know that many studies, if you know how to read, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Pull in the illiterate card.
They suggest that when we create a specific learning environment for these students, meant to improve test scores, it also is linked to better behavior in general, better attendance in college, and higher income in the future. This is because higher test scores generally lead to higher chances of success in college, which in turn leads to more success after college and out of school in life, if you have one, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I don't really need to worry about any of that because I'm here hosting this talk show, having the time of my life, and I only got a 12 on my ACT. 1, 2.
That's why you're stupid.
Who are you calling stupid? You're stupid. You just don't get it, do you? Now, I hope you guys didn't forget, we do have our musical guest tonight, the Plain White Tees. Hey there, Delilah, what's it like? Alright, well, now that bitch is out of here, we are going to move on to our third and final guest. Please help me in welcoming Archibald Chronic Trachea, ACT. All right, thank you for joining me today, ACT. So I just have a couple questions for you. Why do you think the tests are good?
I don't think they're good because they just don't test people.
I see.
It's very much general knowledge for everyone, and for tests like these, we should have much more specialized tests that test you on specific things overall.
Okay, yeah, I would very much prefer that for myself and my 17 children, yeah. So what do you think should be done, ACT?
In my opinion, all standardized tests should be made completely optional. There should be ways to go to college and further your education without needing them at all. Many colleges already do this, where they have it as only scholarship ways, where if you do these tests, you can get plenty of scholarships. But many colleges actually trick you into thinking that they don't care by saying it's completely optional. But what actually happens is the people who put their test scores in first get accepted faster than the people who don't.
Wow, that sucks.
It's a total scam.
All right, well, thank you for joining me tonight. Coochie coochie coo! All right, well, thank you to my guests, SAT and ACT, for coming on tonight. They were great speakers. I'd like to say the same for BOE, but we all know how I feel about BOE. And I'd also like to thank the great Plain White Tees, I can't even talk, the Plain White Tees, for coming out tonight and putting on one hell of a show. And lastly, I'd like to thank you, the audience, for tuning in tonight. Join us again tomorrow where we talk about anti-vaccination moms. Thank you for tuning in to the Max Morris Late Night Show, where we turn the information out to the max. See you tomorrow.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but please just...
Learning disabilities, or people with different backgrounds, or after all the stress they get from taking the test and wondering what scores they got, they get no feedback.
What do you mean, no feedback?
Ooh,
All right, well, thank you for joining me today.
Are you not going to shake my hand?
Sorry.